No, that's early morning show. Did you leave me any bacon? Thank you for joining me on your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update for evenings in LA tonight. This is usually purple, but tonight it's a purple breaking news as the $2,000 stimulus check is getting pushed like we never saw before, with not one but two $2,000 stimulus check bills. Not two checks, just two bills about the $2,000 stimulus check. This is Evenings in LA, direct from Los Angeles, just a little bit after 7 o'clock on the West Coast. Hope you're good and safe. Thank you for joining me. If you've not subscribed, please do, because no one's breaking things down around the clock. This is now a 24-hour news channel. Boy, can you imagine? 24 hours, 1 o'clock to 1 a.m. EIDL starts at 1 a.m. on this channel every morning on the West Coast. Then 2 o'clock in the morning is unemployment, PUA, and FPUC, answering your questions, old school videos. And then I'm back at 3 a.m. with Early Mornings LA. Then 3:30 with Early Mornings LA continued, and then back on Mornings LA at 8:30. But boy, on the video right before this, I went over the major announcement again that a stimulus check, that second stimulus check, is landing in your bank account tomorrow morning, or some cases of yours tonight. They already see it tonight. That's a $600 stimulus check from the bill the president signed into law on Sunday. In this video, I'm going to go over what's going on the $2,000 stimulus check. That is the battle for two bills, no longer one, but two bills in the Senate. I'll be going over the Cash Act, which you all apparently now know, because I asked you viewers earlier today if you now are following me on what the Cash Act is, and they said yes. And then I'll be going over McConnell's new $2,000 stimulus check bill. I don't know what you would call it, the lobster bill. We got to give it a name for it, but that I'll go over in this video as well. Meantime, if you stay with me to the end of this video, at the 30-minute mark of this video, I will have a major announcement that is going to make your jaw drop. For some of you, it's moolah. It's moolah. It's moolah that you've been waiting for a long time. So stay with me at the 30-minute mark. This is a world exclusive. No one has heard this anywhere else. And I didn't think of anywhere else to drop it. So that's at the 30-minute mark. There'll be an update at the 15-minute mark as well if you're just joining this video midway through. All right, let's get to the details. The Cash Act, a bill. It's not a law. It passed the House. It's in the Senate. And it calls for $2,000 stimulus check and more additional stuff. And that additional stuff is really could potentially be the battleground. But if you saw in the title to this video, all accounts now seem to suggest that we could get a really good vote on the $2,000 stimulus check bill by at least Friday, if not, again, early next week. So what's going on, and what do we need to get this to the finish line? Well, the support for the support for a $2,000 stimulus check has literally changed overnight. You have virtually most Republicans now supporting $2,000, which is just, it's like the heavens opened up. You know, we were less than a week ago and no one wanted to give you a check, and now they want to give you $2,000. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. It just came out of nowhere. The push started with the president of the United States, of course. And then 2 days ago, Democrats said, well, if the president really wants this, he needs to start telling people to get their butt and get in shape and start getting in favor of it. And the day started with great news after great news after great news. Both the Democrats both the Republicans out of Georgia said they would support a $2,000 stimulus check bill. That was shocking. So both Republican incumbents in Georgia who were up for that recall, that runoff race on January 5th, both said they would support $2,000 stimulus checks. That was the first start of the good news. It continued with Lindsey Graham, the Republican in the Senate, said he would support $2,000 stimulus check bill. Then it was Marco Rubio. It just kept on going on. Susan Collins said she would support $2,000 stimulus check bill. And one after another, Republicans who were just sort of commandeered by reporters, you know, stopping them in the corner, saying, "Hey, what do you think about $2,000? You gonna do $2,000?" Like, yeah, I'll do $2,000. Yeah. Suddenly, it was just sort of snowballing, and that was before the president came out with that tweet. The president came out with that tweet and said, If you're a Republican, you don't support $2,000, you're killing your party. Your party's going to implode. You're just going to destroy your party. Well, at that point, Mitch McConnell made a twist, and that was a new bill. The remainder of Trump's tweets said something else. He said, if you're a Republican and you don't support $2,000 stimulus check, your bill is going to implode. Your party's going to implode, and you need to get this Section 230 done. Section 230? What's Section 230? Section 230 has nothing to do with you and I. It has nothing to do with us. It's just something the president wants. It's a very big Republican position. It's very anti-democratic. It's very pro-Republican. And so what did Mitch McConnell do after that tweet? He introduced to the Senate a new bill, the McConnell $2,000 stimulus check bill. So now we have two bills that are trying to get you more money. So what I'm going to first explain to you how this works, and then I'm going to compare the two bills, and then I'm going to tell you what will happen tomorrow, the day after Friday, and Monday, because viewers always want to know how these things get to a vote. First, as I said last Sunday, the CARES Act, the Cash Act, and the McConnell $2,000 stimulus check bill does not block your receipt of the check that you got today. Obviously, if you got the check, it's obviously not blocking it. But I had to say it, it's sort of obvious. It's not blocking the $600 stimulus check that's landing in your bank account in the next 24 hours. It's not blocking it. It's devised to pay you the remainder of between $2,000 and $600. So if you're getting the $600, then $1,400 to make it up. That's the first thing I want to make clear. Okay, so what is the difference between the two bills? Let me go through them one at a time. Both bills, the Cash Act and McConnell's bill, they're bills, they're not laws, say $2,000 for an individual. Raise that individual from $600 to $2,000. Raise the married couple from double $600 to double $2,000. So from $1,200 to $4,000. Raise the children from $600 to $2,000. Both bills say the same thing. They also say family of four, pay for a family of four. So what's the difference? The difference is, first, the Cash Act pays a stimulus check to adult dependents. Mitch's bill does not. The Cash Act pays a bill to people you take care of in your household. Mitch's bill does not. The Cash Act pays a lot more people a $2,000 stimulus check for now for the second stimulus package that Mitch McConnell's bill does not. It's just bigger eligibility. And then there's another twist. The Cash Act pays a retroactive stimulus check to the first stimulus package. So if you did not get a first stimulus check because you're an adult dependent, the Cash Act pays you that retroactive bill. McConnell's bill does not. So what he's doing is and what else is different between the two bills? McConnell's bill rescinds Section 230, gets rid of Section 230, and the Cash Act has nothing to do with 230, so it's not in there. So suddenly you see McConnell putting in there what the president talked about, but not putting in what the president didn't talk about. The president never talked about adult dependence. The president did talk about $2,000 for everyone, and the president did talk about Section 230. Nancy put in there the adult dependence and the retro check. The president never talked about that. And she didn't put in Section 230, which the president asked to have put in there. And so there you are. So now the next question, obviously, is, will it get to a vote and when? Okay, now this is the one that's going to make your head spin. So I'm going to go really slowly on this one. What is Section 230? It's basically that that social media companies can get sued as publishers, that they do not have liability protection. Basically, if a social media company posts something that says the guy behind me, the Nutcracker, is an alien, the social media companies can get sued. Now they can't get sued. It's a liability thing for social media companies. So let me go over what's going on with the vote, because this is what's really interesting. People love this stuff. It's very complicated, but people adore hearing all this stuff. So today what happened was This the Cash Act was in the Senate, and Bernie Sanders started the day by saying, "You know what? I'm going to block something else. What that is, I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm going to block something else until you call a vote on the Cash Act." He told McConnell that announced a press release about it, that he's going to do it. Then on the floor, he told Mitch, Mitch, can we call a vote on the Cash Act so I don't do this? Mitch said, no. No, no. Sanders says, guess what? Then I'm going to block this other thing if you don't call a vote. That block is still there in place. I'm going to explain that block in a second. Then you had Chuck Schumer doing basically all he could do at best because there wasn't enough people in the room. There's not enough senators in town. So he called a vote, which is a unanimous consent vote, which says there's 4 people here. Do all 4 people agree? No. Mitch doesn't agree. Denied. So that's why unanimous consent vote is sort of ridiculous, because there's no one in the room. So then what they said was, can we get a roll call to get more people in the room? Can we get more senators in the room? McConnell said no. So a roll call vote takes a few days to get enough people in the room, enough senators in the room to vote on the bill. The problem they're having at the moment is not, this is what's so shocking, is that in 24 or 48 hours, we have gone from opposition to $2,000 to now we have very little opposition to $2,000, except crazy wackos like Ron Johnson. But we have a problem that there's no one in town, so we can't get this bill passed yet. So when would it get passed? It would normally get passed after January, after New Year's. And the Senate is normally not in session now. So why are they there? This is Bernie Sanders' move. Bernie Sanders has now set up a move to keep the Senate in session and not close by act of a filibuster, so that they remain open to force a vote on the Cash Act. Basically saying, you want to go home? We're not going home. I'm keeping you here until you vote on the Cash Act. Now, I know what you're going to say. He did that 2 weeks ago. He did that 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the CR extension. He says, I'm not going to let you go home. He did that, and he folded like a lawn chair. And even the news articles covering this said he did the same thing 2 weeks ago, and he didn't stay through it. So is he running his mouth again? Ultimately, I hope he doesn't do that again. It doesn't look good. It's just silly just to make threats and not fall through. I think he's going to do it. What's New Year's Eve? I mean, where are you going to go on New Year's Eve? There's no nightclubs on New Year's Eve open. It's just New Year's Eve. It's lockdown New Year's Eve. You can't go to a nightclub on. Is Bernie going to go to a nightclub? Bernie's not going to a nightclub on New Year's Eve. He probably got his Christmas party in, so he doesn't need to go to the nightclub. He's happy to have a Senate lockdown on New Year's Eve and keep Mitch and Stacey spend his New Year's Eve with Mitch McConnell. What a dream come true. Yeah, no. Boy. So Bernie is going to keep the Senate in session by doing this strange thing until they call a vote on the Cash Act. Okay, that's item number 1. There's more. There's more. Coming up on the 15-minute mark. And boy, let me tell you the second item that's coming up after the 15-minute mark. Let me give you an update if you're just joining me right now, because that's a cliffhanger if you've ever seen a cliffhanger. There's another thing setting up your vote. Stay with me in about 1 minute. I'm going to tell you what that cliffhanger is. Thank you for joining me. This is Evenings Lalate, and this is a special live recording of Purple Power Live. Normally, this is a show that goes over your state stimulus checks for rent, utilities, and food. But because there's so much breaking, I had to do this on the $2,000 stimulus check. The video right before this went over the shocking development that your second stimulus check, the one the President of the United States, Donald Trump, signed into law on Sunday, is actually landing in your bank account overnight. Yes, that $600 stimulus check is landing in your bank account overnight. How and where and why? Watch the video right before this when you're done with me on this one. It's now archived on the channel. This video is going over the $2,000 stimulus check battle that is brewing in the Senate. And it's so confusing, it needs a 30-minute video. Moreover, at the end of this video, at the 30-minute mark, you're going to hear a world exclusive, never heard anywhere else, about something you're going to get potentially in your account for some of my OG viewers of this channel. Your heart is going to go So stay with me for that shocking development at the 30-minute mark. And let's see if we can get another 3,000 people in this room tonight. Um, Boy, what a night this has been. I said 10 days. I did say 10 days. It was 10 hours. I messed up on that one. Steve Mnuchin always said 10 days. It wasn't 10 days, it was 10 hours. My goodness. All right, so let me get to the second thing that's setting up the stimulus check vote in the Senate. The second thing that's really hitting up very interesting is the following. There is a defense bill that was passed by the Senate and passed by the House. Republicans and Democrats all love it. It's not a complicated bill. It's a simple bill. They do it all the time. And it was sent to the president. The president hated it and vetoed it. During this president's term in office, he has never had a veto overridden, ever. Moreover, in the 60 years of in 60 years, there has been a defense bill approved consecutively, easy, one after another, for 60 years. Well, Bernie Sanders is trying to change that. Bernie Sanders is basically saying, you want to do a veto override of the defense bill, which has a deadline of about Friday? Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to block that and not allow that to happen unless you call a vote on the Cash Act. So Bernie Sanders is now using a very easy bill that everyone agrees upon, a defense bill that they always approve for 60 years in a row they've approved. He's using that as a way to say, I'm not going to let you get to that defense bill unless you do the Cash Act first. Another incredible threat. By all accounts, it looks like he may go through it. So, Lord, this is in addition to the filibuster. That is the filibuster. The filibuster of the veto override of the defense bill. I know it sounds crazy. It's just all over the place. Um, so there you go. Will Mitch's bill get traction? Will Mitch's bill get support? I don't think so. In the, no, in the months that I've had this channel, that I've been recording on this channel, Mitch has introduced four bills and no one has ever supported his bills. He just doesn't get support for his bills. I don't know what he does. He just wants to write and say, here you go. I think in the last month he's written two bills, which I've covered, and they just don't go anywhere. But the reason why I think Mitch McConnell is writing the bill is to show that there may be problems with the Cash Act. And there are potential problems with the Cash Act. What are they? Susan Collins tonight said that loves giving people $2,000 stimulus check as a Republican. She says, I'm fine giving you $2,000. I just have a problem reading the Cash Act. It looks like families that make up to $350,000 are getting a stimulus check. She said, that's a rich person where I live. $350,000 2019 earnings. Why are they getting a stimulus check? So I don't know. She generally knows what she's talking about. There seems to be language in the Cash Act that is a little bit screwy for some people. So that may be what's imploding the problem. But the bigger problem is the lack of people in Senate, in the room, in town. And the Cash Act may be impeded by the lack of people in the room. I'm reporting that you're going to potentially see a vote as early as this Friday, but that may not be the last vote. If they don't get enough people for a roll call, they may have to roll the Cash Act over to early January. And they only have a few more days before the Cash Act itself expires as well. They could extend it, but this just makes things very complicated. But things will change by the minute. This is one of those situations where no one is clairvoyant. No one can be the palm reader on this one. There's too many twists and turns to change. I would never have predicted so many Republicans coming out in favor of a $2,000 stimulus check. But the best news that this really brings you is that this really sets you up for a very good mid-January, where Biden comes in with a third stimulus check and third stimulus package. Suddenly you have Republicans liking $2,000. And this is sort of a change of a mindset across the board. You will always have the Ron Johnsons, the Toomeys, the people of the world who don't think you should have a penny. But as Trump tweeted tonight, those people need to find a new party because that will not be the future of the Republican Party. The Republican Party is people like is people who support stimulus check for people. People are commenting that they think the Cash Act is straightforward. It's interesting. I thought it was straightforward, but some Republicans say the language is confusing. So this is, this is how you deal with the situation. Um, Remember, the Cash Act does not need as many votes to pass that the second stimulus package did. The second stimulus package had extra votes. It doesn't need as many votes. And today we saw so many more Republicans come over to be in favor of the Cash Act that were not in favor of the second stimulus, and that may ultimately change the microcosm. Also, the fact that Mitch McConnell quickly introduced his own $2,000 stimulus check, it has a lot of implications. The first implication is we thought yesterday that this was a setup to really slam in the face those two incumbent Republicans who are running in the runoffs in Georgia. Hey, they don't support $2,000 stimulus check, get them out of office. They don't want to give you stimulus. They came out this morning and said, we want a $2,000 stimulus check. We're ready to do $2,000 stimulus check. We support the President of the United States. We want $2,000 stimulus check. So that message died quickly to go against them. That was a Democratic message against the Republicans. Then Mitch McConnell had a bad press move for him. And that press move was when Chuck Schumer did a unanimous consent vote, which again is only 10 people in the room or 4 people in the room. Does everyone consent? Mitch, I don't consent. No, I don't consent. And it came off as Mitch blocked the $2,000 stimulus check bill. It was all over the news. There were memes everywhere. Mitch is cheating out $2,000. In fact, Kentucky Ends was trending on Twitter, basically saying, who elected this crazy man doesn't want to give you a $2,000 stimulus check? So Mitch blocked it. He blocked it for that moment. He didn't permanently block it. Let me explain that. I explained that earlier today, but let me explain it again. Mitch blocked it at that moment, but he didn't permanently block it. A unanimous consent vote is just like, can we get this done? Does anyone have a problem? Yeah, no, I have no problem. Let's just get it done. Yeah, sure. But if one person says no, then they're like, okay, we'll have to call more people in, have 80 people in the room, and then have a whole vote. And so Mitch blocked it for that moment, but not permanent. He did not permanently kill the bill. He did not kill the bill. And so Mitch saw a very bad press day, slamming him across the board. Kentuckian was trending. And then suddenly McConnell introduced his own $2,000 stimulus check. So I said, hi, I want to get a $2,000 stimulus check. Yeah, so it's about as fake as can be. I mean, it's just really fake. It's, he's saving face for himself because the bill would never pass as written. No Democrat would ever support it. But moreover, what does that do for those Georgia Senate races? This is why everything's changing by the minute, because Nancy Pelosi, when she introduced the Cash Act, she thought, let me go really big on the Cash Act, make it as big as I can make it, and then set it up for Mitch to just block it, and have those 2 Georgia Senate seats just land in my pocket. Oh no, Mitch has sort of now turned it into like, I'll give you the same thing, I just don't like your language, you don't write it right. Really, really, really strange. What's the significance of purple? Oh, the significance of purple was about a month ago. I was wearing a purple shirt, and someone called me purple. And then I wore another purple shirt, and they're like, you always wear purple? I'm like, I don't always wear purple. And then they're like, you wear purple. So they started referring to me as purple. So then I said, well, you have the purple power. And then I started referring to the viewers as purple power. And so then as we started Twitter campaigns, I would say purple power to refer to the family of the viewers' channel. And it just sort of snowballed. Purple power, purple power, purple power. And ironically, purple power, the mindset of purple power was the same mindset this channel always had, which was help other people, nonpartisan. We're trying to get economic relief for everyone, find money for people, get them their EIDL, get them their PUA, get them the PPP, get them the money they're due. And that was the birth of Purple Power. It was all because of a shirt, which I still wear. And that's where Purple Power came from. It came out of absolutely just a coin phrase on this channel. And it was ironic because in the earlier days of this channel, if you watch them on overnights, Lalate at 1 a.m. at 2 a.m., the catchphrases were bombshell. I always would say bombshell, Javita Light. There were characters of this channel like Javita Light, Blaine 666, far before Sirloin, which I guess I had to bring them back. And that was, how things change. And as more viewers join the channel, things change. But the spirit was always Purple Power of this channel. It just didn't have a name then. And at one point I said, I made a deal with viewers. I said, if I help you, you help other people. And that was during the EIDL days. I said, if I help you, help other people. So if I get you the EIDL loan, you tell other people how you got it, and you share the information. And so that became Purple Power. That became a version of Purple Power before Purple Power is now. Purple Power, it keeps on taking new forms. The volunteers this channel have taken it to another level. They're helping people get state stimulus, rent, food, utilities around the clock. So they're helping other people. The mentor on EIDL loan was a person I helped get their EIDL loan. At one point I had almost 10 mentors because it was getting too big, and that was the spirit. I said, you help other people. So that is the details. Coming up in just a few minutes at the 30-minute mark, I'm going to give that big shocking revelation that I told you is coming up tonight. It's a big shocking revelation. So if you're still in here, you're about to doze off, don't leave me, because if you've been an OG viewer, your jaw is about to drop very quickly in about 3 minutes. Let me give you an update as we are tonight, where we are in your second stimulus. Wow, we just zoomed up 2,600. It was 2,300. Let me give you an update where we are tonight. On the video right before this, I told you that your $600 stimulus check under the second stimulus package is landing in your bank account overnight. Catch that video if you missed it. This video went over what's going on in your $2,000 stimulus check bill, which is not law yet, bill. And I'm reporting that it's going to be likely set up for a vote somewhere between now and Friday. The battle is over now 2 bills, the Cash Act and Mitch McConnell's bill. McConnell's bill is not particularly good. It eliminates things from the Cash Act, eliminates adult dependence, eliminates a retroactive stimulus check. But the great news is that we have incredible support for $2,000 across the board. And it's really the power of this channel. It's the power of this channel that started with CR for stimulus, getting stimulus in the CR. It was not supposed to be in it. And we changed history. People have stimulus checks now today because of this channel. You were not supposed to get a stimulus check in December. We got the stimulus in the continuing resolution. It was this channel. Then we did stimulus check or shutdown. We urged for a stimulus check or shutdown. They weren't going to give us a stimulus check. The problem creators, those people that stood on Capitol Hill with Nancy Pelosi, were not going to have stimulus checks. We got that. And now the breaking development and the world exclusive for that, and the word OG refers to original viewers. The world exclusive you're going to hear on this channel only tonight with 2,700 people in the room. You're getting the remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant in January. And with that, have a beautiful evening and save that life for more.